Hello. Sound working? Yep, good. Okay. Hi. My light broke. So hopefully this is all right. Anyway. All right. So, I'm just going to count to 5. Think. I have a feeling that there's going to be some ranting happening today. All right. I don't want to be rude. Because we all know that I'm like really polite. I like to be polite as much as possible. Okay. And I'm not sure if it's just me. Not sure if it's just me. But I'm pretty sure that if you have a literal dick flying through the air that cost billions of dollars and the taxpayer funded it, that maybe, now I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be negative. Innovation is great. It's so great of Jeff Bezos and Richard Branson and Elon Musk. They work so hard. They're geniuses. They're innovators. I don't want to appear ungrateful as a woman in tech for all of the opportunities that I've been gifted throughout the years. All of the blessings that tech has given us all. And I don't want to be rude or ungracious or unappreciative. And I most certainly don't want to appear negative. But I'm starting to think that maybe things are a bit fucked. Maybe it's just me. You know me. I'm crazy. I'm just, I'm an angry feminist. what would Marxists know? I don't know anything about anything. I'm just rude and ungrateful and swear too much. But I just think that maybe when there's a dick flying through the air at taxpayers' expense, off the back of workers who get paid fuck all and have to piss in bags and get fired over email, at will employment, they could just turn up and not know why they've been fired. They've just been fired. They can't talk to anyone. And he flies his dick through the air. And he goes, well, we're just going to claim space. Why are you being negative for? It's the final frontier for humanity. Can I be honest and say if that's the final frontier for humanity, it looks to me like there's a giant fucking dick on it. Just saying. I don't want to be ungrateful for all of the blessings. Like overnight shipping and... Okay, that's it. I'm just saying. Is it just me? Is this just... It feels like day after day after day we're subjected to loyalty tests. And I said the other night, last night, some night. Hang on, let me turn the preview off. It's using my fucking GPU. I was saying last night that I swear to God, these guys must be secret revolutionaries. They have to be. Because how could this not have happened? I'll get to the words thing. Because basically, the theme is people taking shit that's not theirs. Okay. It's all related. It's all bullshit bullies with penises flying through the air. And I don't give a fuck if people think that it's lazy to point that out. There was some dude on Twitter who's like, oh, why don't you fucking talk about like original, why don't you make your critique more productive? I was like, fuck off! There's a dick in the air! It's low-hanging fruit. I'm just saying, there's a fucking billionaire with a taxpayer fucking subsidised dick flying through the air and everyone's cheering it on and no one thinks there's a problem with that. Again, I'm tremendously grateful for shipping within 24 hours. I'm sure that the people who work 15 hours a day with impossible fucking standards that could be fired at any minute, get fired for even saying the word union, don't get paid a fucking livable wage, and are treated basically like shit and have to deal with heat stroke and run around and not use the bathroom, not drink water. I'm sure they're tremendously grateful for the opportunity too. And this is where we need to talk about this shit of taking people just claiming things that aren't theirs. Like the left. I had this thought the other day. I have many thoughts. And I'm sure that not a lot of people sit around thinking about social capital like I do, but I do. Most people don't have that much time on their hands, and I understand that that is a luxury, to sit around thinking about fucking theory. But you know what I was thinking? The biggest bait and switch with this whole fucking, I don't like saying woke but this whole gentrification of the left that's happened from America, okay, American universities, rich kids whining, all right, is that I had this realization that okay, if you're not a Marxist, let's move away from Marx because that seems to traumatize people. Let's look at something that's a bit more acceptable, shall we? It's called elite theory, okay? Elite theory. And that is the theory that democracy is an illusion, okay? That democracy really does still serve the interests of an elite class, and that it's all an illusion, okay? And it is not, despite being sold this pluralistic utopia, that maybe that's bullshit. And that elites tend to, work in their own interests, and they have access, and that access is what makes democracy, and that most people can't fucking afford access, okay? And that really, at the end of the day, the place is run by elites. Now, that's elite theory. It's also pretty much the bones of Marxist critique, okay? It also happens to be something that Steve Bannon said. It also happens to be something that those who are on the left, or claim to be, who deny material reality and think that the words working class is a dog whistle to the alt-right, that's how their mask slips. Okay. And this is where I want to talk about words and actions and principles and beliefs. Now, I'm not someone who judges. I don't care, okay? I have friends that are everywhere politically. I have friends who like sports, don't like sports. I have people who love politics, hate politics. I have people who fucking, are capitalists and like full-on hippie Marxists. I have people that drink, don't drink. That's the fucking beauty of life, is getting to know all these different people and loving them anyway, and disagreeing and thinking that they're, taking people at the sum of their parts and thinking that they're great. And there's that principle of humanity stuff that I've talked about before. Just assuming that people come to their worldview through their own experiences, and that's valid, that their experience is valid, okay? If your experience is valid, then so is the conservative that you disagree with. Okay, if your story is valid, then that's valid too, because if you're using the same fucking principles, rather than just talking shit, if you actually have principles and apply those principles fairly, your story is important and their story is important. And people come to different beliefs through different experiences. I've worked with people who are grew up poor and neglected and working class like me. I've grown up with people who grew up in some of the richest, like very, very wealthy. They went to school with the fucking rich kids with Tony Abbott and all those fucks, okay? I know people who grew up very privileged and who did not. And they all come to their worldview because we can't possibly know every experience, and we can't possibly know everything about the world. And a lot of our politics is informed by our experience. If you grow up having only a caricature of what it means to be working class, then you don't realize that fucking appropriating that experience and that struggle is a cunty thing to do. Now, again, I'm not saying that ideology is good or bad. It's like people's politics is informed by their principles. People have different principles. It comes from, background and race and personality traits, and there's like strong correlative like relationships between personality traits and how you view the world and your politics and your behavior. Okay. These things are complicated. That's why. And it occurred to me, the thing that annoys me the most about people claiming to be socialists who are watching a dick fly through the fucking sky and not thinking that it is vulgar and obscene and wrong. Okay, now again, there's very few people that I don't have I judge people based on their conduct, okay? Not their fucking words or behavior, the way that they treat people, okay? If you go out of your way to hurt people, okay? Outside of comedy is free, comedy has to be free. Exception. But if you go out of your way and you know that you're hurting somebody, and you laugh at that, or you dismiss that, or and you have a choice. For me, ethics are very much in the choice you make when confronted with facts, with information. Like, the reason why I'm fucking sitting here like a turf right now, being a turf, whatever the fuck that means. I thought it was called being a sane fucking human being. But the reason that I'm in that crowd is because I sat there and I've always been on the right side of things, as I see it, okay, morally. I don't believe in this right and wrong, good and evil shit, okay? But I do believe that there is a moment where when you see something that is overwhelmingly wrong and overwhelmingly not okay, the thing that decides your character is the choices you make as soon as you have access to that information. So for me, when I saw what was happening to gender critical feminists, when I saw what was happening to women who just dare fucking utter anything and were being threatened with a backhander if she fucking got too lippy, that's when I said, that's wrong. I made a choice. Okay. When I was confronted with the harm that my industry was doing in tech, I made a choice. I could continue fucking just collecting and harvesting and doing all the wrong things, or I could choose to quit. Getting involved in politics, I realized I couldn't make much of a difference and that my energy was better off elsewhere. That's different. I sort of fell away because I just realized I wasn't wired for it, and now I know why. Because I have too much fucking backbone. But the thing about integrity, and I'm not going to sit here saying that I'm the fucking bastion of integrity and all of that stuff, because I'm not. I'm not perfect. Really, I know it's hard to believe, but I'm not perfect. Okay, the other day I shared something that was punching down and I felt really bad about it. Okay, there was a group of guys who dressed up like paramilitary trans fucking with wigs and shit, and they were rescuing their kid, but all I saw was the picture of these fucking people with guns and, like, you know, the trans flag and shit, and it was funny, and I didn't look further, but it turns out that they were rescuing their friend from a fucking dangerous situation, and that's integrity too. So I went, fuck it, that was actually punching down. I apologise. See, I'm not perfect. We all get caught from time to time. And I'm not saying you can't laugh at things. It's ridiculous. And I hope that they can laugh at themselves there. Because the optics of that photo are fucking hilarious. And it doesn't detract from the point that fucking shit happens and it's violent. But my point is that when you're presented with facts and you're presented with a choice, you make a choice. And during a pandemic, okay, like a global pandemic, again, whatever. I'm not getting into that shit. There are those that saw an opportunity to make choices, the wrong choices. And I don't know why people encourage it. That's the, and I'm trying to be funny, but it's hit and miss. But I'm just saying, like, this is what integrity is. Okay. Now I'm not saying, again, I'm not putting myself as fucking king of the fucking integrities. All right. I'm figuring it out as I go along, but every single day I try to learn from my mistakes. I try to do better. I try to be a better person, only to be cast as fucking negative, crazy, complaining, ungrateful, crazy for fucking pointing out that the dick in the sky is a sign of a fucking problem. It's a literal fucking dick in the sky. A taxpayer subsidized dick in the sky. Like, this is the problem. Misogyny aside, when are we going to stop letting it be acceptable? Did that come out correctly? I don't think it did. That was a poor sentence. When are we going to stop accepting playground bullies, which is what this is, rent-seeking, corrupt, lying, thieving bullies, playground bullies, take everything from us without pushing back. Now, I said this last night. It was quite funny. I was like, they're fucking lucky that I am a fucking non-violent person. But there's a lot of people who are violent, and that's my concern. And honestly, there was a part of me when I saw the dick in the sky that hoped that that fucking thing exploded. But then I was conflicted because then I realized that would martyr the man. And he's what the fuck is wrong with people cheering this on? This person is a bully. This person has but you get free overnight delivery. That's really cool. They host our websites. That's good. I really like the Kindle experience. It's really cool that you can go from audiobook to read book, and they made it really not great and convenient. I love Audible. Audible's great. It's a great piece of fucking software. A lot of authors rely on that platform to survive. They don't get paid fuck all. Amazon takes 70% of the fucking thing. But still. They're taking stuff that's not theirs and claiming that they're innovators, and that's, when are we going to stop accepting this stuff? Now, this is what I meant, okay, back on point about the left. I had this stunning realization that these people, that elites, okay? Now, I'm not saying elites in the Steve Bannon way, you fucktards. I'm saying it in terms of as a political scientist, quoting elite theory, okay? I can say bourgeoisie if you like, but that tends to make people fucking break out in hives and or think I'm nuts. There's words for things, and that's the theme today. There's fucking words for things, and you don't get to decide what they mean. They're not yours. Now, if you call yourself a socialist and you saw a dick in the sky and went along with it, you're not a socialist. I'll tell you that now. If you thought that Richard Branson, by getting fucking money from the UK government, I don't think he didn't succeed here, because thankfully our fucking government somehow has one fucking synapse left. Barely. I'll give them that. But you're not a socialist. Again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with not being a socialist, but those words have meaning. They mean something. They mean a lot that you don't fucking know. Okay? And this is the thing about the US left and this gentrification of the fucking left, which is that not content with taking what they fucking want whenever they want it under threat of fucking guns, okay? That aside, not content with buying up all the fucking houses, not content with keeping people fucking starving, not content with fucking up the stock market, not content with fucking dominating fucking discourse and stealing the internet from everybody. Yes, I know that the internet was fucking Department of Defense and shit, but I'm just saying they sold us a lie. But not content with all of the economic capital, okay? Not content with fucking all of the fucking cultural capital. They're taking our fucking social capital away from us too, and our ability to fucking name ourselves and use our own words that have a specific meaning. Now, as a political scientist, it took me a long time. I studied America in postgrad. I've done a lot. The reason why I'm so interested in American politics is I consider myself probably more of an expert than a lot of fucking Americans, if I'm honest with you. My thesis was on Bill of Rights and stuff. Right? And can't remember what I was going to say. I lost my train of thought. Hang on, let me just have a drink. My mouth's dry. Oh, yeah. But, like, honestly, not content with taking all of the shit, ruining all of the internet, okay? Dominating our fucking heads 24/7. Not content with pushing, like, whatever hard-fought workers' rights it used to exist worldwide. Like, over time, the gradual erosion of fucking fairness. Not just America. You guys never had rights. So, you don't realize what you've lost. But we've actually had public health care and a good public education system. Not perfect, but good. Okay. We've had Medicare and education and workers' rights and unfair dismissal laws, and we didn't have at-will employment. But over a period of fucking, 40 years, 80s probably, the pressure's been there since the beginning, but really amped up in the 80s and 90s. This just been chipped away at and chipped away at and chipped away at and chipped away at, and now we're getting fucking US healthcare. We're getting the US education system. We watch nothing but American fucking TV and culture wars and news and fucking all this stuff. It's an imposition. And this is why I get pissed off with Americans saying that we don't get a say in that. It's like, no, I want to fucking vote for the president. It affects me. It affects all of us. It's not just you, okay? Funnily enough, Yank, it's not all about you and what you want. I'm going to get banned now because I don't know if you know, but on Facebook, Seppo is considered hate speech. There's been a few people that have been put in Facebook jail for saying Seppo. And if you don't know what Seppo is, it's an Australian word for yank. So it's like rhyming slang. So this is the beauty of Australian fucking culture, is that we're not content with rhyming slang because that's a bomb thing. We need to make our own. So we've gone septic tank, Seppo. So it's yank, rhyming slang, septic tank, Seppo. But we can't say that. We're not even allowed to name our oppressor. But that's the point. That's the point. That's the whole point, is by disarming us of the words that we're allowed to use. This is fucking... Let's have a drinking game. It's Orwellian. But it's, it's true. It's like when Newspeak, double think. Newspeak starts. Read it. Don't just quote it. Don't just look at the fucking little bits. Read the fucking whole thing. Read the appendix, the Newspeak appendix. Okay, this is what's happening. Words matter. But socialism particularly. Okay, I'm not saying that this isn't about tribes or about clubs or about labels or about identity or anything like that. Okay, but what I realized was that not content with owning everything, they're taking our stories and our right to name ourselves as well. Neoliberalism, end-stage capitalism, and heading into fascism is what it does. It strips you of everything. Okay? And this is why identity is such a big fucking deal. Because guess what? We don't have a working class identity anymore. We don't have, I don't get to be Australian. I don't get to be a woman. I don't get to be a fucking hardworking person with integrity, with boundaries, who says, no, you can't just take what you want from me, America, or man, or anyone else. I am someone who is a market segment. I'm a woman. I'm 42 years old. I'm gender critical. I'm a problem. I'm a critical thinker. I spread disinformation, apparently. I'll talk about that one next. That's the next stream. That's a big fucking one. The reason why this fucking, seriously, how the fuck do people not see that LinkedIn with the polls, and suddenly it's all polls, okay, which is funny, and Facebook and all these stupid questions, okay? That's the final fucking frontier of like answering the last bit of fucking information that they have on you. Stop asking. Stop answering shit. Have some secrets. Facebook does not need to know what type of bread I am. They already know everything else. Fucking hold something back. They've got kids literally sitting down and categorizing themselves and doing their own persona boards to hand over to tech companies for a database so they can be sold things. We don't have any real identity anymore. Identity is now something that is not deeply held or principled or values or, like even the word socialist has been taken from us by rich people and commodified and turned into a fucking brand. And if we dare say, hey, you can't take that, you're elite and I'm working class and you stole from me, they will turn around and say, oh, that's what Steve Bannon says. What are you, a fucking fascist? No. You stole from me, fuckhead. There's a dick in there. Wake up. There is a dick flying in the sky. There's something wrong. Aren't you glad that I've got time to think now and do this full time? It's great, isn't it? Anyway, I said I'd go no more than half an hour, but I'm trying to set that as a target. But the words are taken. Get new words. For all these people that are just whose full-time job, if you've got a PhD in literature, why do you need to steal the word woman? Why can't you make up new words? You're a linguist. Make up a new fucking word. I'll use it. Okay? But you can't have that word. That's my word. Socialist. Again, I'm not judging you. Okay? If you think that you're on the left and you're looking at a dick in the sky and making excuses for billionaires who have tripled their fucking worth in the year when people are starving to death, the word, like, what the fuck? I don't want to be negative. Maybe it's just me. I wouldn't want to feel ungrateful for all the opportunities that I've been handed. What have I been handed? Fuck all. Maybe. In fairness, I am grateful. Do you know what I'm grateful for? Being born in Australia, being born at a time where I still paid uni fees, but not as much as now, not as much as my daughter and my kids will have to pay. I'm thankful that there's a public safety net should I desperately need it. I mean, I need elective surgery and that's a fucking $10,000 gap plus health insurance. But, let's ignore that part because that's Bupa and that's where they just decided that now they've got if you go to a Bupa friendly approved hospital, it's like, whoa, fuck. Thanks, America. Good job. I thought we were pressuring you, not the other way around, you fuckheads. But we still have some Medicare, okay? We still have some safety net. As long as you're dying or nearly dying, then you've got health care. If you've got chronic health conditions, then it's a different story. There's a dick in the air. What more do people fucking need? Richard Branson. I keep saying this. He fucking asked for a bailout from the government when the pandemic hit. He asked his staff to take unpaid leave from his island. Elon Musk tweeted when everyone thought he was on their side. And ordinary people lost $71 billion collectively on Bitcoin and Doge. Where's his apology? I'm just going to fly fucking rockets into the air, and people are still thinking, oh, I'm going to buy a Tesla when Dogecoin goes to the moon. Fuck off. It's not going to the moon. I got out, thankfully, but I'm just saying. Didn't have a lot of money to invest. But I'm saying, right, I feel but do you know what he did? He made me look like a fuckwit. Because I gave Musk the benefit of the doubt. I gave him the benefit of the doubt, thinking that he might be different. But he's not. They're all meeting at this fucking, what's it called? Something Valley. Fucking resort where all the world's billionaires hang out and talk for a bit. Is anyone going to be there going, excuse me? What the fuck? Why is there a dick in the air when people are starving, Bill Gates? You know how the two parts of your brain. This is why I want to research comedy, because comedy sits in horror. It's the same part of the brain that works in comedy that works in fucking surprise and horror and disgust. And I'm sitting there and I log on to LinkedIn, or I'm like, you know, thankfully I'm surrounded by sane people now. But when are people going to figure out that the only trickle-down economics that exists is being pissed on and shat on from a fucking rocket ship? They have to be, either they are secret revolutionaries trying to fucking get everyone to fucking murder everybody and go nuts, or they don't care. Because they're just so confident that the internet that they built will just fucking silence anyone who fucking has an issue with stuff. That's the more likely scenario. That's why they like buying newspapers, guys. Rupert Murdoch didn't buy MySpace because he likes fucking Tom and wanted to give him $500 million. And then he lost $500 million. Fucking brilliant. But that was what the internet was supposed to be. The internet was supposed to be that Rupert Murdoch couldn't fucking own the internet. And that Rupert Murdoch trying to enter the internet would fail catastrophically. And then this fuck invents Facebook. I mean, I sympathise with him. To be fair, I think he's, Zuckerberg is in a difficult position. But again, when you're faced with the choice, it's the choices you make when you're confronted. When you're confronted with the facts, it's the choices you make. It's with Twitter and J.K. Rowling and the death threats and everything. There is no way that Twitter staff don't know about this. There is no way that they don't know about J.K. Rowling. There is no way that they don't know about the misogyny. And they do nothing about it. Now, this is where I'm conflicted, because I also am anti-censorship, and I think that maybe things need to run their course. And I think that largely it's bots. Okay. But the tech platforms, I have a feeling, honestly, to Facebook's credit, I feel like they've identified, they see this problem. Okay. I can see, again, trained eyes, I can see what they're doing with their algorithm to try and de-escalate things. So credit to Facebook. The problem's bigger than one person and one team and one thing. The elephant in the room is that everyone sits around cheering on a dick in the air. And they pretend that it's okay. And I mean, there's a lot of people who don't think it's okay and they're saying stuff. But we need to be less polite. Let's get back to being the vulgar working class, shall we? Not the polite ones that ask nicely, but the ones that say this is fucked. I suggested on LinkedIn that small business owners, if you got she, her in your fucking bio and you've got he, him, and you run a business and you're all about social justice, why aren't you saying, fuck it, I'm not paying my taxes? Why aren't you calling the IRS or the ATO or, all of those people, departments, whatever your appropriate department is, and saying, do you know what? Fuck you. Tax them and then I'll pay mine. That's integrity. Okay? But no, you just do the fucking zero shit. No effort. And then I see you on LinkedIn fucking cheering on fucking billionaires. You're not on the left. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But that word means something. Working class means something, and it is not a dog whistle for the fucking alt-right. Populist movements, this is where people get confused, is that populism, okay, and also remember that Wikipedia and all those things, as reasonable as they are, they're also political. They're also, the internet, the information we have is American dominated, okay? So American political theory, American political history. The victors write history and they're dominating the internet. American tech companies own it. They own all of the information, okay? Have a look at Marx on fucking Rational Wiki one day for a laugh. Calling him a fucking anti-Semite is fucking Jew. Well, he was, yeah. Okay. He wasn't Jewish, really. He's Jewish, what's the word? It's not race. Jews aren't a race. You know what I mean. His dad wasn't religious Jewish, but Marx was Jewish. Oh. But what they do is they take these things, these ideas and concepts, and marry Marxism with authoritarianism and decontextualize all of it and spin it for their own interests, okay? Look at your UK history. Look at your there's other ways of looking at these things. And there's other schools. And thankfully, I've come from more of a school that's less like US dominated. Unfortunately, with the APA, I probably, I just have to sit and watch dicks go through the sky all day, every day. In psychology, there's dicks flying through the sky in that too. My whole day is just dicks flying everywhere. And now there's a literal dick flying through the air. Oh, my phone's ringing. There's my phone. I don't know if you can hear it. But there's seriously, my whole day is fucking dicks everywhere. Fucking slap, slap, fucking dick, dick, dick. Now it's flying through the air and everyone's acting. It's the same thing with J.K. Rowling. Fucking death threats and dick waving and dicks and dicks and dicks and dicks and dicks. And there's fucking dicks flying everywhere. Fucking hell. If you're a feminist and I don't think anyone who's on the fence about this fucking TERF thing, if you're on the fence, just think about all of the fucking misogyny that you see day in, day out. And how we're just expected to go along with it. And if we're not nice, we're perceived as negative or crazy. Or worse, if you defend the working class on LinkedIn, they might ban you. Because working class and woman and fucking elite and all of those things, there's a dick in the sky, is considered impolite. And God forbid you be impolite, but it's not only impolite, somehow Marxist analysis is right wing. If that's what you want, if that's not a sign of fucking backwards land, oh, Jesus Christ. But I don't want to be ungrateful for the opportunities that I have been granted in my life. It's not like it's all a big fucking lie. It's not like the second that you express any integrity, you're penalised. That's called negative social capital, by the way. Again, I know I talked about this, but if you're fucking, I realized this. I had this epiphany. I know it's not really an epiphany because it's based in theory, but it's just a way of looking at it, which is that the working class identity, okay? Our struggles, the feminist identity, the struggle of being a woman, something that is, I would say, deeply, deeply part of someone's identity. And the way that we work through the world. Growing up working poor and disadvantaged has informed most of my fucking existence. And I'm also incredibly grateful that I grew up where I grew up, because if I had been in America, I wouldn't be here. It's, but to have that Think about that. And this is why it's hard, because I thought about this, that the things that make us who we are, our identity, and I'm writing about this in the book. I'll flesh this out. Things, they've been taken by rich people, turned into market segments and flags and products and pieces of fucking flair and merch and stories. Hollywood. No one wants to watch rich fucks. The only time they want to watch rich fucks is when rich fucks are evil. They don't want to watch the everyday grievances of rich, boring cunts. So what do? They steal our fucking struggles and our stories, and they co-opt it, and they turn it into a fucking, into Hollywood. It's not just appropriation of race or of culture. It's appropriation of experience and our very identity. I mean, there's people obviously who are working class who write a script and, all that sort of stuff, and they tell their story, but they end up in the machine. That's how social capital and cultural capital work. If you look at your Borjo, which I've mentioned before, okay, is that the system just eats you alive. And when you're faced with a choice, you either have to go, okay, this is a big part of who I am. I'm working class, and I care about my fellow man. I care about women. I care about women's rights. I care about violence. I care about children's safety. I care about fairness and in this world, and justice, real fucking justice. And then when I'm presented with a choice about whether to go along with things that are against my values, I choose to fight, or I choose to go along with it. And then if I choose to go along with it, then I forfeit my right to call myself that thing. And that's all I'm saying is I don't give a fuck I just want to know who's a real feminist. I want to know who is on our side. I want to know who is working class and who sees the dicks in the sky and has a problem with it. That's it. I just want to know. I don't care about your fucking lists and your fucking segments and your fucking whatever. I'm not going to do anything because I'm not a fuckhead. I just want to know who I can rely on and who I can trust. Because when this ends in fascism, I need to know who I can fucking trust, because that's where it's going, if not already there. The fact that there are people who are watching a fucking dick fly through the sky. What an impressive dick it is. What an impressive dick. I love it. By come rockets. In our pump and dump. Fucking hell. Anyway. Good luck going half an hour, Tay. Oh well. I think it was worth it. I'm going to go. I'll be back on Friday. And, yeah. Same bat time, same bat channel. Think about it. It's okay to not be the left, okay? It's okay to not be working class. But don't steal my fucking story, and don't tell me that saying that, defending the working class and calling for a fucking tax strike because I'm, small business owners, to make them prove that they can fucking do that. We've got an election coming up in the next few months. The Liberal Party really want small business voters. They really want them. They're going to need them. They also really want women. Make them earn it. Make them do something. Call the ATO. Grow some fucking balls and say, I'm not doing fuck all. If you're an accountant, I'm not doing fuck all until you fucking start taxing those pricks. And stop picking on people who are lining up outside of a fucking Centrelink like it's fucking 31, whatever it is, 29, whatever the fuck. In a pandemic with dicks flying through the air. It's obscene. And I'm sorry, I'm negative, and I'm going to try and work on my swearing. I'm going to work on my swearing so that it's not a verbal tick. Because it is. I've used swearing because I stutter. And I can't, and it's just one of those, I need either new verbal tics or to have speech therapy to fully get rid of my stutter. But I'm not going to stop swearing, but I just want to be able to like not have it as a verbal tic. I need to work on those because I need to be able to work clean if I'm going to do comedy professionally. But I hope this was a nice start. This is not written comedy. I didn't script it. I just like, playing with stuff. Nothing's going to change here. I'm just got more time to think. But it's just crazy to me. You're not the left. If you saw that shit and you weren't in fucking conniptions, then you're not the left. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You have a different worldview and that's cool. We're friends. It's cool. But just stop saying that you're your pronoun. You can do all the signaling you want, all of it. You put your fucking flags and pronouns and fucking all that shit. Do what you want. But I know you're a fraud because when you're faced with a choice, you could ring the ATO and say, I'm not paying my taxes until you fucking tax billionaires. Fuck you. This has gone too far, too long. No, you wouldn't put yourself at risk. You wouldn't do anything like that. You wouldn't be on YouTube like risking banning. You wouldn't quit an industry that's unethical and with no fucking safety net and no idea how you're going to earn any fucking money. Okay? Because comedy fucking is the only thing that has any integrity to it anymore. And even then, if you say this shit, you might get banned, so it's risky. It's good, isn't it? But good luck. Put your pronouns in the bio and claim that you're better than me. Go on. You're a better person than me. Go on. I call you on it. Do something. Something other than that. Something other than emojis, something other than fucking virtue signaling, something other than a fucking thing that makes it all about you. And yes, I know I'm streaming, but I'm saying I'm not making it about me. Sort of. This is the bit. See, now I've got that awkward bit where I go, if you want to fucking become a patron, you get what I mean. It's necessary, unfortunately. It sucks. It shouldn't be this way. Honest people and hardworking people should fucking, if you work, then you should be paid. If you work, then you should be able to take a fucking piss break. If you deliver the packages, it shouldn't fucking matter if it's 2 minutes late. Get fucked. And if you buy crypto off the back of someone saying that they believe in it, and then you just fucking washing your hands of the whole fucking thing, then you're my enemy. Thankfully, I'm a fucking toothless tiger. I'm more of a passive resistance person, peaceful protest person. I change hearts and minds. I hope that there might be other people out there who agree with me and go, fuck it. Maybe Elon Musk is jerking off to YouTube. Maybe Jeff Bezos is monitoring the situation and he's just gonna maybe someone might take pity and buy me a ticket to that billionaire conference. And I posted on LinkedIn, can I have a ticket, please? I think this is a big misunderstanding. And if I just had 5 minutes with them, I could alert them. I could alert the billionaires and tell them what's wrong. And then it will all be fixed. Or they'll throw more dicks in the air. Who cares? And fucking put me in prison. Maybe that. Maybe the ATO, because I've said don't pay your taxes, are going to fucking arrest me for saying that. Who gives a shit? Someone's got to make a stand. Anyway, if you want to pay my legal bills, you go to Patreon. My website's I broke my website. I put up a temporary template thing and it's not working. I'll get to it as soon as I can, but I'm in that sort of transition. But you can go to Patreon at the moment or just message me or whatever. If you really, really desperately want to help, then do that. Otherwise, I'll see you on Friday. I love you. I give you a precious life seconds. I really do appreciate it. Doing a new podcast. It's called Don't laugh. People are great is what I'm calling it, but it's actually more positive and clean and that sort of stuff to show that I can do different things. But this is my fun stream where I just rant. I love you. Stay well. You're not crazy. You're not negative. The problem is the powerful. Okay. I love you. It's going to be okay. Fuck them. Can't arrest all of us. Okay. They can't fucking censor everybody. They can try, but eventually, they can't do it to everyone. Speak up. And if you don't speak up, then support those that do. Support people who are brave. Someone said the other day that I was fearless. And I'm like, I'm not fearless at all. Fucking afraid most of the time. But the difference is that I have integrity and I make a choice to push through my fears because I know what's right. I don't even like doing video. And then I was so afraid of doing video. And now 2 years later, because I pushed through that fear, I'm in a position to fucking do something and say something for now. But I'm just saying, I'm not fearless. Bravery is a choice. And when you've actually got ethics, sometimes it's not a choice. It's just how it is. Okay? You can take all the political compass quizzes you like. You can do all the fucking virtue signaling you like. But when you're presented with a choice and you make the wrong choice, then you're a bad person. Doesn't mean I don't understand, but it doesn't mean that you get to claim to be a good one. And I'm going to go. On that note, share my shit, please. I think there might be some people that might want to hear it or share it, or that I might be speaking your mind quietly and say, hey, we like her. Even though she's negative. You'd be negative too if you saw dicks flying in the air and everyone losing their fucking minds. All right, I'm going to go. Love you. Bye. Where'd he go? Bye.